The Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay leaks just keep coming, and Rockstar Games is freaking out. They've summoned the Pinkertons, ICE, and the Mighty Avengers to track Cyberleek down, and on the eve of the Netflix gameplay reveal, the official Grand Theft Auto gameplay reveal, we have our first look at the Prologue, an actual story mission featuring Lucia, the other character that we have not seen in any of these GTA 6 gameplay leaks. Now, caveat, I'm not going to be showing any of that on this channel. That opens you up to copyright strike. Rockstar Games, no joke, is hunting people down that are even remotely connected to these leaks, that are posting even screenshots. But I will go ahead and describe them for you, talk about some of the unique mechanics that I'm noticing in these gameplay clips. So far we've had 11. So today we're going to be discussing the 12th through the 17th clip, the legal implications that are heading Cyberleek's way, and the possibility that we may not see any more gameplay clips after this, and I'll tell you why. First, comment down below how you're feeling about GTA 6 so far. Have you seen these gameplay clips? What has you most excited for the game, and will you even be buying Grand Theft Auto?
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Now, we'll talk about the first 3 clips in a batch because they were released within about a 6-hour period, and they show a lot of the same things that we saw in the previous clips, but with some new additions. The 12th clip is the 919 clip, and this showed us the dance club. This was actually the dance club that we've seen in the trailers as well. Really got them gay Tony vibes. Something that caused a bit of controversy, I guess, was a statue that was featured in GTA Online was seen at the entrance of the club. So, you know, a bit of a minor reusing of assets, but that's kind of to be expected, right? Because GTA Online has been built concurrently with GTA 6, and it's going to be using a lot of the same mechanics, and Rockstar Games are nothing if not smart developers. They build things to be used universally across their systems. Not the biggest point of contention in my mind. Hair physics improved a lot. There was definitely some incredible hair physics here. That's something I've already mentioned before. That's in all of these clips, really. The clothing, the hair physics, the minor details involving the water and stuff, facial animations, something we've never seen in a video game before. I'm trusting GTA 6 Countdown for all my news regarding this because he's been very quick on documenting the happenings, but I'm not going to deny he's a bit of a glazer. Definitely Rockstar's strongest soldier. NPC density is incredible. They really feel alive. They're vaping. Actually, this is very funny. He walks up to a girl and she starts to hit on him, Jason, the main character, and she's vaping the whole time. Very much a redux of the strip club clip, but with a bit more features. In the 13th clip, Jason is cycling on Vice Beach. This is the beach clip, and this was highly anticipated because it's a question if the NPC density will satisfy, if the gameplay is going to deliver on the promise of the trailers, and this definitely delivered. So of course we have Jason on a bicycle, meaning bicycles are in the game. NPC density incredibly high. He was there sort of at night, kind of in the twilight, so maybe you'll get more full, maybe there's a full week system, you know, like a Sunday to Sunday, and if you go on the weekends there might be more people, just kind of speculating here. The NPCs are unique and not just duplicates. There was probably duplicates in the background off to the side, but at least in the player path, everyone was doing very deliberate things. Everyone was having their own interactions. It was a super convincing life sim because there was definitely not noticeable repetition. Reacting to specific things as well. What is that guy doing? He drives a bike. One guy fell out of his chair, you know, clipped through his own animation. And there was some things in all these clips that kind of confirm my suspicions that Cyberleek probably doesn't have a full build of the game. At this point of the leaks, he showed 13 clips and he hasn't progressed the storyline at all. He hasn't gone to the store or modified his character, though he will do that in the next clip, and he actually seems very surprised when he does this. What it seems to me is that Cyberleek has a very narrow vertical slice, probably something like a game demo, and he's only able to play in a very small starter area, and I bet if he gets too far, it probably cuts the game out too, and he has to start all over again. Now, the 14th clip was a direct jab at Rockstar Games, and I gotta say, Cyberleek, if nothing else, has a wonderful sense of humor, because he's been putting little jokes in every single clip he's put out. So he's walking past a set of stores, a little strip mall, and he sees a game store called the Game Horde. Features highly detailed interior with consoles, monitors, games, headphones, etc., etc. A Joy Station 8 console. The Righteous Slaughter game as a parody of Call of Duty. There's a bunch of little parodies in here, but it's to note that it's a used physical game store. So it's definitely a spoof of the current environment of digital-only games. I don't know how to feel about it, considering that Grand Theft Auto 6 may not have a physical copy, or at the very least they've said that they will not release a physical copy on launch day. So it remains to be seen if a disc will come in the future. The thing about this game is it's so highly protected, and that's what makes these leaks so dramatic, because this project wasn't supposed to leak, and yet every time Rockstar does a project, it seems like we get leaks. However, there is some suspicion that this could be part of their marketing strategy. I definitely don't think that, but there are some people in the audience a bit more conspiratorial that think Cyberleek is just part of the marketing package. Now, a part of this clip surprised me, and it actually surprised Cyberleek at the time. You could tell by the way his character reacted, by how he paused when he was able to activate this function. You can buy phone cases, customizable earbuds, and headphones, which may mean listening to musical playlists while you're walking as though you had a radio station on foot. But more important is that he was able to modify his character, and until now he had showed no store footage. Every piece of clothing he had was something that you could probably get out of the starter closet, and I think this was a feature that was deliberately not included in whatever slice of the game he had. But the game store, it wasn't marked on the map. It's not actually a clothing store, it's just a little Easter egg, and for that reason he was able to purchase something, and it definitely surprised him. The 15th clip was kind of a non-event. The most important part of it, he actually drove past a car customizing place, which I believe was Rideout Customs, which would be one of the shops that is Ultimate Edition exclusive. So it's possible the car he was in and the decals on the car were from that shop. However, if the intention of this clip was to display features that, you know, players wouldn't get, I think he failed to actually deliver that message. I think I was probably the only one who noticed that besides GTA 6 accounts. And right around the time that Cyberleek dropped that clip was when Rockstar Games dropped their official statement on all these leaks, 5:26 this morning. Dear all, we know that many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of the past week. It would be an understatement to say that having videos of the gameplay has been heartbreaking for our team. Obviously not how we intended to see the game after all this time. Very excited for everyone to see the extended look tomorrow. It would take longer than what we wanted to get it ready, but as with everything we do, we want to exceed your expectations. We're determined to deliver on a level you'll expect and deserve. So I expect there to be some things that were spoiled in the leaks in the gameplay reveal for Netflix. I think that's what they're talking about. While it's unfortunate that the game experience may now be impacted by some spoilers, we hope that everyone will wait a bit longer to experience the game for themselves on the 19th. Thank everyone in the community who's reached out. Ultimately, we're making the game for you. We look forward to sharing more with you soon. Pretty boilerplate response. I mean, what else are they really supposed to do here? They're flexing all their legal muscle, and they're trying to be forward-facing, trying to look good for the crowd, because honestly, these leaks have done nothing bad to the reputation of Grand Theft Auto. They're really making Grand Theft Auto 6 look good, in my opinion, and if anything, they're just going to sell more copies. However, perhaps emboldened by this statement, maybe the words in here that it said intended gameplay experience and experiencing the story for yourself, Cyberleek then decided to publish the GTA 6 Prologue as a last resort, and this is where I say GTA 6 Countdown the Glazer, to pump his shitcoin that is currently collapsing following Rockstar's statement. Now, I don't think his coin is collapsing. However, it's important to note that the text on the Lucia gameplay clip directly asks for people to trade his coin more. When Cyberleek posted the strip club clip, which I believe was clip 7 or 8, it bumped the market trade cap of his coin from 1 million to 13 million. And with the Lucia gameplay clip, he's asking for 50 million trade volume to post more gameplay of Lucia. So he's asking for more than a 4 times increase in just a few days, because the strip club clip came out over the weekend. He wants this shitcoin pumped to the moon, and I think it really demonstrates kind of a betrayal of the hand here. It's Cyberleek showing that he doesn't have much more. This is the pump before the dump. And I'll read the text directly from a screenshot that I won't put on screen, and you decide for yourself if you trust these words. The build is actually recent and the game is not ready at all. Sony and Rockstar are killing your right to own and resell your games, and Rockstar is killing their employees too. The work required to reach gold is way too much for such little time left. Trading volume price is how Cyberleek measures your support. Cyberleek will not continue without support. You decide. So in a way, it almost feels like a threat, right? To anyone who's become addicted to these leaks, to anyone who's trying to pump the shitcoin. If you don't keep supporting Cyberleek, he's going to turn the siphon off. This is where the whole aura, mystique of Cyberleek completely falls apart, because he's just pulling that same neo-capitalist grift as Rockstar, just trying to pump the numbers, just trying to pump the stock, just trying to pump the extrapolatory value of the situation, because at the end of the day, once Grand Theft Auto 6 releases, what are these leaks even going to be worth? What is this coin going to be worth? It's going to be worth absolutely nothing, because Grand Theft Auto will be playable. And then gameplay leaks won't matter because you can just go experience gameplay. And really, this Lucia clip is a whole lot of nothing. It has Lucia in it, yes. We start in the prison, which is where we expect to start with this character, but it's just her hanging around, talking to the background characters. I guess there's some funny background NPC dialogue there, but it really tells you nothing about the story that we don't know about outside of the trailer. The sum total of the gameplay is literally walking around, and he walks around in maybe 3 rooms total, including a prison cell. There's really nothing here. This is, I think, probably where the demo of the game ends, or the vertical slice of the game ends. It probably doesn't go much further than this mission activation. Let me just say, I'll be very, very surprised if we see Lucia gameplay of her out on the streets doing things that he did with Jason, because it seems like he has the very beginning of the game. Otherwise, I just don't understand the desperation in his mission to get people to pump this coin, asking for more than 4 times the market trade volume to keep going. That is him showing that he's bluffing. And the problem with people is they don't know how to bluff well. Either they're just bad liars and they don't know how to bluff, period, or they bluff way too hard and make it obvious. Now let's go ahead and dispel a rumor here, because some people were thinking that they had found a Discord connected to Cyberleek and that they possibly had revealed his identity. However, that is not true. What caused this theory was that a Discord account had posted some of the gameplay footage like a week or 2 before it started hitting the greater internet on Twitter. But when people traced it back, they found the first post on Dread Forums 12 hours before it was posted. So definitively, Cyberleek is not that Discord account. Another rumor that an Imager user uploaded the map leak on August 16th. However, false, since the images were uploaded to the blockchain half an hour before that. If anything, people who were really closely connected to Cyberleek while he was setting up the security measures of his own leaking. So while these people aren't directly implicated, they have tertiary knowledge, and I do expect Rockstar to probably come at these people legally. It appears that the leak started circulating on the dark web before going viral everywhere, which had explained random accounts posting. Here's my theory about this. I think these gameplay pieces came piecemeal. I don't think they were all recorded at once on the same build in the same session on the same setup. I think there's a high possibility here that Cyberleek isn't even the person playing this. He could have someone on the inside who has access to a narrow slice of the game who's getting him requested clips, and that's why we have this delay turnaround, and why he even uses the poll system in the first place, because he could use the poll to inform him of what he needs his friend to grab him. That's why there's so much gravity to this situation, because it's entirely possible that these leaks could be coming from Rockstar headquarters. Days shared a new exclusive interview with Rockstar Games, and it shows some new screenshots and confirms a bunch of features as well. First, game has been in development since roughly 2013, though that can mean something as simple as updating the engine for the next iteration. Games take so long now. Active development on this game being 13 years, I don't believe that so much. Player actions have consequences. Walk down the street with a rifle, city will have something to say about it. Definitely saw this as well. Not only was it the NPCs calling the cops and the way the wanted system worked, but it seems like there was like waves of reactions that would go out, and NPCs were more aggressive, they were more willing to fight, they were pulling out their own weapons, some of them were running towards danger in these clips. It seems like the whole city will try to stop you if you go on a rampage, and that's actually actually really cool. And for Rockstar, the goal is to create a world of total immersion which reacts more realistically when you do things, story evolved too, higher stakes and characters grounded in the world they inhabit. And now we talk about Jason and Lucia. Players can choose to either play as a couple or cause chaos independently. So you can have Jason or Lucia rolling around, always being your homie. You can cruise along the highway as Jason, swap to Lucia in the passenger seat to scroll on the in-game phone. Yes, there will be working social media. This might be part of the Discord connectivity. I wonder if they'll allow you to connect your freaking Instagram to Grand Theft Auto. And when the job goes wrong, the fluid switching system enables players to drive and then fire out the passenger window. You know, you will have to contend with the notoriously hilarious Grand Theft Auto driving system, sometimes the NPC driving. That's something I hope they really improved in this game, was NPC driving logic. Choices can have repercussions that cut much deeper than Rockstar's previous titles or honor systems, and we definitely saw some faction-related markers in the game, especially when Jason was doing more naughty things. Food affects Jason and Lucia's weight. Exercising visibly builds and tones muscles. And if you end up spending a long time away from your bed, on the run, or on a multi-day bender, I don't know if this is missing a sentence, but it says players can expect encounters with virtual iterations of Florida Man. I don't know if that's connected to you missing sleep. I don't think it is. I think you'll probably just drop weight, or maybe even look tired, maybe even perform worse, have less stamina. I think the appearance of Florida Man, the long-awaited cameo of Florida Man in Avengers Doomsday, it has finally happened. Now here's a big one, and this relates to something I talked about in the last video, vid link in description by the way. The revenue source of video games is no longer just game sales. That's part of this Netflix gameplay trailer exclusive timing. We talked about it, and without getting into too much detail, pretty much YouTube has more eyes, but Netflix gets better money per ad roll, so GTA wants to make a little bit more money on the Grand Theft Auto gameplay reveal. That's where Cyberleek is stepping on their toes, because Cyberleek is not going to change the sales numbers. This game is going to make billions and billions of dollars for Rockstar, but they were hoping to make a little bit of their marketing budget back on this Netflix trailer, and this is part of it too. In-game products, brands, shops, campaigns that bear passing resemblance to their real-life counterparts. Expect coordinated ad campaigns in real life and in Grand Theft Auto as well. I know NBA2K is a Take-Two product, and they do this in their sports games. They just blast you with brands, and sometimes it's, you know, current advertisements for films and stuff. There's so much money Grand Theft Auto can make, especially in the online sphere, by being an advertising platform. And we've seen so many games move towards that in the modern era with like user-generated content, creative maps in Fortnite and Roblox. I'm not gonna say this is a good thing, because it's definitely not a good thing that you buy a game and they're still trying to sell you things in the game, or they're trying to sell you other products and shit, but it is definitely something you should expect with Grand Theft Auto 6. Rockstar team has more than doubled in size since the release of Red Dead 2. Offices around the world, one branch in LA dedicated solely to the world of in-game pedestrians. So they have an NPC studio just for developing the NPC AI. That's probably why it feels so damn good. More than 50 real-life street artists were brought in to design murals. The team that deals with vehicle handling is made of literal race car drivers. I don't know if that makes for the best gameplay. We just had 2XKO from Riot Games, and that had, you know, high-level fighting game community pros, and that game was absolutely terrible. I did not enjoy it. I'm a longtime fighting game fan. I think it was some of the worst aspects of fighting games all stuffed into one mess. Here's the thing, the driving looks like a mix between GTA 5's arcadey style and the more weighty style of GTA 4, where you're driving metal vehicles and they definitely feel like they're super heavy. However, GTA 4 is not a lot of players enjoy it. It's not really their cup of tea for that reason. So I hope they strike a good mix here. Let's get a quick look at these screenshots as well, because I think these are going to be new outfits, new idols. I like the Miami Vice look of Jason Moore with the long hair and the, you know, open blazers and all that stuff. This is pretty cool too, I guess, but that's pretty Cuban drug lord coded, not really my fit. And since we were talking about 2K and in-game ads, the final thing we'll end on is 2K teases a crossover with Rockstar Games and GTA 6, expected to be late November, early December. definitely expect more of these collabs because GTA 6 not only has playable basketball, but apparently it's going to have its own version of the NBA. Let's consider that GTA 5 had the in-game stock market, and one of the big things of the modern era is these betting services like Polymarket or Kalshi, things of that nature. I actually think that GTA 6 could have some in-game betting systems, but you won't be able to put your own money into GTA 6 to bet with them, so it'll be legally okay. Where this is all going to get questionable is once online gets introduced, because the laws around gambling and loot box systems and all this have changed so much since GTA 5 came out, and I'm very interested to see how they handle that, because there's so many countries right now where you can't actually use the casino functions that are in GTA 5. You can't roll for cars, you can't do any of that because of the existence of shark cards. But we all know that with Grand Theft Auto, one of their big money makers is shark cards. It's the thing that makes them $1 billion company. But anyway, that's everything about the GTA 6 gameplay leaks until now, right before the Netflix gameplay trailer reveal, and I don't actually expect more leaks to come out. And if they do come out from Cyberleek, I expect them to be mostly inconsequential. I don't really think we'll see more of the story. I don't think we'll see anything that really spoils this game any further. I think Rockstar Games is really going to come down hard on this guy. They are already trying to find him, but there's a couple instances where we saw them really ramp up their legal procedures. The first one was when he revealed the strip club, and now that he's revealed Lucia, he showed both NPCs and actually showed a cutscene. I think they're going to kick their legal stuff into overdrive